Joey Swoll is being canceled for defending Hulk Hogan.
Listen, I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things.
Racism is not a mistake.
If you're gonna attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well.
I'd rather you call me the N-word than call me colored.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology.
I'm done with social media.
Love me or hate me, I am not going anywhere, and you are not going to cancel me.
And just like that, Joey Swoll is back. What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this Joey Swoll situation because he left the internet for a minute there and now he's back. And I originally was going to talk about it a couple of days ago when he left, but it's even better that I waited till he's back. So for anybody that's not familiar with Joey Swoll is a fitness influencer that has a lot of followers. And basically what he does is he gets people canceled on a daily basis for not exercising good gym etiquette. Sometimes I agree with Joey Swoll, sometimes I don't. Either way, a lot of times I watch because it is entertaining. And he also does give some fairly good constructive criticism when he calls people out for the things that they do. And if you don't know why Joey Swoll got canceled, when Hulk Hogan died, Joey Swoll posted a video of himself dressed in a Hulk Hogan costume and worked out as a tribute to Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan was part of the reason that he got into fitness. But of course, that pissed a fair amount of people off because there were a lot of people on social media that were celebrating the death of Hulk Hogan because he had said some racist stuff in the past, which I'm gonna let this TikTok video fill you in on it because it'll do a much faster job than I can.
Joey Swoll is being canceled for defending Hulk Hogan.
What did he do?
Take a look.
Listen, I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things. I don't know what he did, and he said something 20 years ago and apologized for it.
He called black people hard yards and was angry at his daughter for dating one, and said only rich ones are acceptable because the money makes up for it.
And apologized for it.
He said he would never want to be reincarnated into a black family because that would be his karma for what he's done and said to them.
And apologized for it.
He also prevented other workers from unionizing so he could make all the money as the face.
And apologized for it.
And when his son paralyzed the guy, he said God punished the guy who got paralyzed.
If you're gonna attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well.
Deflection 101, zero accountability. Look what everybody else is doing except for me. Also, the use of colored is insane.
Okay, the man was nice to me. He made a mistake.
He's extremely racist, but he was nice to me, so I accept all of his behaviors and shun anybody who he was horrible to and made feel horrible.
I'm not God. People make mistakes in life. If you got a problem with that, look at yourself. There's not one single person in here that hasn't made a mistake.
That is the most skinhead comment I have ever heard in my life.
If you got a problem with that, then just leave or you'll be blocked.
If you don't side with racists or support them, leave or I'm going to block you because I side with them and I support them.
Period.
Which I could do an entire video on what this guy just said and kind of refute or at least let people know the way I see things like that. But I don't want to get distracted right now. But anyway, since Joey Swoll's whole thing is about people taking accountability, people were really holding him to that and being like, why is it when it comes to one of your heroes, suddenly you don't care so much about accountability? So with people going at him, he decided to do a live, and during that live, he ended up saying colored people, which you just heard on the video, which that I don't really hold against people because I know even though certain people have a history with that word, when it comes down to it, it is confusing for people that people of color is good and colored people is bad. So I'm not really going to hold it against anybody that they got confused and said the wrong thing, especially in a moment when they're flustered and dealing with being canceled. But of course, like always with the internet, some people didn't want to let it go, even though he apologized right after he said it. Some people were holding on to that, and what people were really mad about was the fact that he said he would post Hulk Hogan if he wanted to. Because like I always tell you guys, people don't get mad at what you say on the internet. Yeah, that'll be the initial, but what really gets them going is when you refuse to apologize, because how dare you not apologize when I, a person you've never heard of and never met in your life, has feelings about the things you said. And so Joey chose not to apologize, so they let him have it. So then he did apologize, and boy did he ever apologize. It was kind of disgusting, actually.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done. Since last night, I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and I apologize to anybody that I offended. I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based on holding people accountable and doing better. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human, I am still growing, I am still learning, and I promise all of you, I will do better. I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart. I will continue to try to make the world a better place. And once again, to everybody, I apologize.
And plenty of us were like, why would you bother apologizing to these people? Because like I said, even though there are times when I will disagree with Joey Swoll, I didn't think he did anything terrible by just posting his tribute to Hulk Hogan after Hulk Hogan had passed away. And you can never apologize to the woke people because they're not going to accept it anyway. Once these people feel like they have you on your heels, they will continue to push and push and push. But the reason that I say I think this is a good thing, and kind of in Joey Swoll's karma, and he needed this to happen, was I don't think Joey understands, because he's just in the business of getting people canceled all day, every day, and sometimes a couple of people a day, is that he has such a huge platform that when he comes down on somebody, it is the entire weight of his platform coming down on these people as well. Because not only does he post what they did wrong, he'll also post their actual screen name so everybody knows exactly who to go after. And boy, do they go after them. He's got over 1 million on X, over 5 million on Instagram, over 8 million on TikTok, 2 million on Facebook. YouTube is his weakest platform, and he's got 500,000 on YouTube. So I think it was a good thing that he at least got to get a taste of what it is he puts other people through on a daily basis. It's sort of like when people go to the police academy and they talk about the fact that they make them get tased so that they know what the taser feels like when they're administering it to other people. Same thing with this Joey Swoll situation. It's good for him to know what it is these people go through and how it is these people feel when he decides to air them out publicly. So then he quit the internet by posting this on his pages. All the good I've done, all the people I've helped, all for nothing. When I need help, when I need kindness and compassion, nothing. I truly hope all the people I've inspired do great things in their life and pay it forward to help others and carry on my message. But no matter how much good you do, no matter how many people you help, they just wait for a reason to hate you and tear you down. It's true, you either die a hero or live long enough to be the villain. Thank you for all your support. I love you all. I'm done with social media. And of course the wokies were celebrating because they made Joey Swoll leave the internet, which I already knew he wasn't going to stay away for long. But then, not but 2 days later, I didn't expect it to be that quick, Joey Swoll comes back and this is what he posts. Before we go any further, I just want to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, August 16th, I'm performing in Phoenix, Arizona. One show, doing meet and greet afterwards. No extra charge. Link will be down below in the pinned comment. So I'm going to talk through this part because it's copyrighted music and Joey Swoll won't get me demonetized. No sir, no ma'am, no turkey, no ham. But this is what he went ahead and posted, was a video of a woman making fun of another woman for the way that she's working out. It's standard Joey Swoll content.
We do, me, Love me or hate me, I am not going anywhere, and you are not going to cancel me. I just needed a few days to step back, to breathe, to get my mind right. And over those few days, I received thousands and thousands of messages from people telling me, do not quit. How much I help and inspire them, including messages giving me a good kick in the ass that I needed to get back up. So I am not quitting, and I am done apologizing. I'm going to continue making videos calling out bullies, being a voice for the people that can't defend themselves, and making the gym community and the world a better place, as I have done for years. Starting with this video right here. To this young woman, you want to criticize that other woman for the exercises that she does. First off, there is nothing wrong with the exercises that she is doing. You're a bodybuilder. Maybe you have different goals than her. Or is it that because you're bigger than her, you have muscle, that you think you're better than her and can treat her this way? If you really cared, why don't you go over and help her? Teach her some of those exercises. But no, you'd rather take a video of her to post online to make fun of her for likes and attention. You need to do better. Not be perfect, but you need to do better. And I really hope you do.
And like I said, it's standard Joey Swoll if you're not familiar with what he does. And that's why I do like him, is because he does offer the, this is what you should do instead of what you're doing right now. Don't make fun of them. Instead, maybe teach them something. Overall, I think Joey Swoll is good. But like I said, I think he did need to get a taste of his own medicine. I was trying to hold back smiling and laughter when he was going through his thing about being back, because it literally was like 2 days. It was less than 48 hours. And I saw people online saying, it's the first, that rent is due. You know he's going to get back on. and I do love the internet for that, because the internet is just relentless. And so I am happy that Joey is back. The feedback appears to be good. I checked comments on most of the platforms. Obviously, there's always going to be some people saying negative, but that appears to be very much in the minority. And so I am happy that he's back. And overall, I think he can do good. I wish he would stop posting people's entire handles though, but I guess that's the only way to get them to correct their behavior, because plenty of people have been defiant, and boy, do his people come after them for that. Once they start saying, yeah, I don't care, it'll make them shut down their accounts in some cases. And sometimes he does point out things that are actually criminal. Like there was one point where these young guys were dancing in front of the mirror in the gym locker room, which I hate people recording in the gym locker room. That's something I will tell people, hey, not here, turn that off. And most people have been really good about it with me. But there was a point where there was this older guy that was in the background, and they moved out of frame so that everybody could see this older guy changing. And he was obviously changing in the locker room. So indecent. And Joey Swoll called them out, and they tried to at first get smart with him, and then their gym memberships got canceled, and then they were getting hate rated for a minute there. So it did turn it around. So I guess it's a double-edged sword. There's no way to do it without actually fully exposing these people. But I just don't love it. And when it comes to the Hulk Hogan part, this is the thing I think a lot of people don't really get. Some of us have very specific memories that involve Hulk Hogan. Like when I was young, I was a little bit of an oddball. This is when I was young. And I didn't necessarily fit in with the other boys. And somehow I ended up seeing wrestling, pro wrestling, obviously. At the time, WWE was WWF. And I used to watch it all the time, and Hulk Hogan was like an actual hero to me. And when I say I used to watch it all the time, I mean I used to watch it all the time. And my dad and my mom were supportive of me liking to watch wrestling, and they bought me all the figurines. Like I had a lot of wrestling toys, and even the wrestling ring. And my dad had to work a lot when I was young, so I didn't get to hang out with my dad a lot. But my dad would make it a point to take me to see wrestling at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. That's when the Veterans Memorial Coliseum was like the main Coliseum in Phoenix. And we lived like an hour away from Veterans Memorial Coliseum in a smaller community. And so me and my dad would go by ourselves and we'd have that entire car ride to hang out. And then we'd obviously hang out during the wrestling matches. And it was like my time to really bond with my dad because he had to work so much, but he would take that time out to hang out with me. And I got to see a Saturday Night Main Event live recording. I got to see all of my favorite wrestlers live. I got to see some wrestlers before they actually became popular, like Hercules. Used to be Hercules Hernandez. That was his name when he first came on the scene. And we got to see him when he was basically a nobody. And there was this guy that we used to refer to as the Tucson oldie because he was like an older guy from Tucson that was a really technically sound wrestler, but I guess just had never popped. Somehow was still in good with WWF though, so they would have him do basically like exhibition matches. So like when Hercules Hernandez first came, since he wasn't an actual name and they couldn't pair him up with one of the other big wrestlers, they paired him up with that guy, and then that guy was able to have a good exhibition match with him. And so that for me is a very special memory, or is very special memories, because my dad took me a lot. Like somewhere in boxes, I have an entire stack of programs from all the times my dad took me to watch WWF. And then on top of that, my little sister, because I was the only boy and I had two sisters, well, three sisters, once my little sister came along. And since I was the only boy, I decided to turn my little sister into my little brother. And so that's the way I treated her. And she was down for it. And so I turned her into my wrestling partner. And I would make her wear my robe and she would put on my dad's sunglasses. And I would be Hulk Hogan and she would be the Macho Man Randy. I laugh because it's ridiculous, but it's 100% true. And we did a lot. We used to wrestle a lot because she was a really good little brother. And so I guess I'm laughing so hard because to this day she can still do. And she was young at this time, you know, but she can still do. Oh yeah, the Macho Man. She's good at impersonating the Macho Man Randy Savage even to this day. And even though she's my little sister, she's a grown-ass woman that'll put it on you with the, oh yeah. So between my dad taking me to see WWF all the time and my little sister being my wrestling partner, those were some of my favorite memories from when I was young. And I think that that's where a lot of other people are coming from when they were putting out the RIP Hulk Hogan tributes, and kind of where Joey Swoll might have been coming from when he was putting out his tribute. And I think that in a lot of cases, other people that have other feelings forget that some of us have memories that have nothing to do with any of that. When I got older, I knew about Hulk Hogan saying the N-word, but I'm not really going to pretend like that's a big deal to me, because honestly, to this day, I hear a lot of rappers and hip-hop stars using the F slur for gay with a hard G. And I'm not asking anybody to get offended on my behalf, so I'm not getting offended on anybody else's behalf either. So I don't really care about that. And the other terrible stuff he said, I knew about all of that because on the side, I would pay attention to Hulk Hogan stuff, even though it's been years since I paid attention to wrestling. I got out of that phase, I think right around junior high. But I knew all the terrible things he had said about like the guy who had gotten paralyzed and him saying that it was part that guy's karma and all of this stuff. And I can honestly say that I didn't really like what I learned about Hulk Hogan or what I learned about who he was when I got older. But that too might have been part of why I got bummed out when I heard about his passing, was because it did remind me of a time when I was young and innocent and I didn't know anything past just Hulk Hogan being this hero of mine. And yeah, the other people putting out their tributes may not have had the same memories that I had of Hulk Hogan, but I'm sure it was something similar in the way that it took them back to a different time in their life where this person that you were seeing on TV weekly or sometimes nightly had made this impression on you, and maybe helped you form some really great childhood memories. And when people like me or Joey Swoll or anybody else post their tributes, what a lot of people don't realize is that we're not asking anybody to mourn with us. We're not asking anybody to feel the way about Hulk Hogan that we may have felt about Hulk Hogan. But what we're saying is, this was something that hit me a particular way. And I think that's a lot of what gets lost with these people on the internet that always want to play holier than thou and want to make us feel exactly like they're feeling about everything. Is if I'm feeling one particular way about this person and their passing, and you're feeling another way about this person and their passing, why can't we just both respectively feel the way we feel and let the other one go through whatever they're going through? Because I definitely wasn't on anybody's post getting mad at them for saying that they were glad that Hulk Hogan had passed, even though the way that I see it is that since he's passed, that's no longer between me and him. That's no longer between the public and him. He has passed away in my belief system, and I don't ask anybody to believe the way that I believe, but that is now between him and God. So I'm completely out of the mix as far as that goes, and I'm free just to mourn the hero that I had when I was younger that would remind me to say my prayers and eat my vitamins if I wanted to be a good little Hulkamaniac. And nothing I found out about him when I got older, or that anybody from the internet is going to tell me about, is going to change that for me. And I don't care what anybody feels about it. And that's where I'm at on it. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you want to see a video of me talking about Billie Eilish versus Black TikTok, click the video on your screen. Other than that, this has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.
They bought into his bullshit.